Hello everyone, welcome to your reading. Today is an all signs reading. Um, One of my friends actually suggested this topic for me because um, everything in life has been feeling very chaotic lately. I'm not going to delve real deep into astrology or anything, but like Jupiter's in retrograde, Saturn's in retrograde, Neptune, Pluto, Chiron. There's so many retrogrades happening right now. I'm actually gearing up for a full moon. Um, I'm recording this a little early, but by the time I post it, might already be a full moon. I think it's August 11th or 12th, somewhere around there. And full moons bring emotions and energy like up real high too. So, like, life is crazy, the world is crazy, everything's feeling a little bit insane. So, today is in all signs, and basically, I'm gonna try and get a little advice here for you. Kind of, well, as the title of the video says, help you sort of navigate this chaos, right? Because, I mean, I think we could all use a little bit of help here. Okay, so first off, Aries. Let's see, we're gonna do some tarot, and then I'm also gonna get a couple oracles here, but just how we help Aries navigate this chaotic time. I'm liking this. So the first card out we had for you was Page of Cups, Three of Swords, and then we also here have the Sun, Four of Cups, Eight of Wands. Really what you need to do right now is, I'm hearing, first off, kind of watch your words, you know. Be careful what you say to people. Be careful, like, apologize if you have to. Don't be too cold in this. The bottom of your deck here is King of Swords. So we don't want hurt feelings, right? We don't really want to hurt people here. That's not really the point. You kind of want to stick to your boundaries where you have to. Maybe temper your expectations here a little bit as well. I'm just really mostly hearing do no harm, right? But also, you know, take no shit, right? Kind of focus on you, what makes you happy. Spread that joy to other people as well. Send good news if you have to. Apologize if you have to. But yeah, I just want to say, like, it kind of sounds mean, but don't expect too much out of life right now. You know what I mean? Well, that's just kind of like the way the world is too, right? Like, inflation is through the roof and everything. But it really feels like heal what you need to right now as well, even if it's like your own heartbreak and everything. But yeah, kind of feeling back into like where those boundaries were too. Like, Four of Cups here is telling me a little bit of say no when you have to, right? Don't just agree to something to agree to it. Just, if you don't want to do it, say no, right? Because I'm looking at this person's shirt here and it just says over it, right? I feel like a lot of us are feeling that right now, just over it. You know, maybe take a day trip if you can, like a small road trip, just something that makes you happy. But yeah, the big thing I'm hearing for you specifically, Aries, is kind of watch your words, watch how you speak to people, watch how you speak to yourself, right? Because again, do no harm, right? Do no harm, take no shit. So yeah, it's overall not really bad for you though. Honestly, the Three of Swords is mostly what's bringing everything down here. Everything else is just kind of like, yeah, let's go, let's have fun, let's, do you want to do this with me, you know, like friends night, something like that. It really kind of feels a little bit like nurture you though, because I mean, if there's a person on these cards, in these ones specifically, they're all alone, you know? So it's kind of, do you. Do what makes you happy. Say no if you need to say no. Temper those expectations, because it is trying times, right? I think we've all been there where it's just kind of been like, I am really excited for this, I'm really hoping for this, and it is so underwhelming. You're like, can I please just erase this from my memory? I got you a Moonology card while I was talking. It comes out full moon in Pisces, balance, spirituality, and practicality. Okay? And I also want to get you a spirit animal for Aries in this chaotic energy. Just some advice. Maybe. There we go. Yeah. I like this. You have here Nightingale spirit. Love is all around. It is. And that's coming out here a little bit in the Page of Cups, but also kind of the Sun card. But it's also feeling like spread the love too, you know? Don't be afraid to spread the love. Small offers, even if they feel tiny to you, can feel monumental to someone else, you know? Just really monumental. It's just one of those little things, like, try to make someone's day. If it seems like they're having a tough day, be kind, you know? That's kind of the energy that's coming through for you. And I do like it. I feel personally that when, like, life is trying for you, like, it does you good as well to try and cheer someone else up. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're all kind of going through it right now, but it just, that little act of kindness, it's good for the other person as well as you. You know, it's kind of good for your own soul. Okay, we're going to get into Taurus here right now. Navigating the chaos that is planet Earth right now. Ugh. There's a lot here. I do want one more for you though. And I'm kind of sensing a little bit of a theme here, not gonna lie. But I do like it. You start with the Ace of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, Justice, and the Star. Part of this for you here, Taurus, feels like making amends. And I kind of see that coming from the 5 of Pentacles to the 6 of Cups, is if there is something on your mind, something that you're kind of like, I wish it hadn't gone down this way, something like that, do something about it. You know, make an apology if you have to make an apology. There's no harm in that. But it also kind of feels like, make it solid, you know? If you owe someone money, pay them back. Like, and I'm not even saying, like, if it's been a lot of money, and you can't afford it all, just like small steps. It's kind of like a gesture of goodwill, right? Especially with Justice coming out here, it's trying to balance the scales, even if it does feel a little bit difficult right now. So, and if you notice, like, there's someone around you who's needing a little help, who's kind of down on their luck right now, again, offer them something, even if it's something small. You know, again, it's that same thing that I was telling Aries. Is just little things. When you know someone is having a rough time, a small gesture can go a long way, you know. It does kind of feel here though that this might be someone in your past energy from the 6 of Cups. This could even be as simple as just healing your own inner child, you know. Like, what is something you need to heal within you? What is something you need to take care of within you? Is this past trauma, generational trauma? Like, is this something you've carried with you for a very long time. Heal it if you can. But kind of mostly what I'm feeling for you here, Taurus, is you need to kind of embrace a healing energy and kind of bring it, if you can, to people around you. It's kind of, I almost want to say like karmic in some sense, where justice is here and there is this balancing of scales, and maybe, and this could be something you haven't even realized yet, but maybe there's something that you've been taking, you know, a little bit more than is necessary, and maybe it's time to balance that out. Maybe it's time to start taking what you've taken, if you can, and giving back a little bit, putting it back into the earth, you know? And these need to be solid gestures. These need to be something practical and realistic, but something that shows you're serious about this, you know? I'm just shuffling as we go. For your Moonology card, you have here a personal issue reaches resolution. And again, I feel like this is something you've possibly been carrying with you, a person that you know, someone that you kind of need to balance the scales a little bit with. And you also have here your dreams need a practical plan. Again, if you can't feel like, or realistically even feel like you can repay this, whatever it is, it does not have to be money, but it could be. Like, if you feel like you can't do it all right now, well, you don't have to, right? You just have to make an effort. You just have to get started on this, okay? For your spirit animal, you have stag spirit. Take the lead, right? So this isn't really going to resolve unless you start here first, right? You need to reach out. You need to be like, hey man, do you remember when you loaned me that $50? Well, I can't give you $50 right now, but here's 10, you know? Here's a little bit, just little things, right? Small steps, baby steps, okay? It'll come in time. You just have to show the universe that you are trying. And I think, honestly, it'll do wonders for your own mindset as well when you start to do this, because it's not going to be weighing quite as heavily. And also, if it's one of those things that just feels like an insurmountable debt, like you're never going to be able to pay this back, well, now you've made it just that much easier, you know? It's not quite so bad because that $50 is now $40, you know? Maybe in a couple weeks you can make it $30, you know? Just little things like that. You don't have to go full bore on it and try to get it all done immediately, but you need a good foundation here. You just need to start, right? Okay. Let's go Gemini. Oh, how does Gemini navigate this chaotic energy? What can bring a little bit more balance and peace for them? I like this. There's always kind of one Gemini who sticks out in my head, and you'll know who you are because you're watching, you'll know. Where this is honestly your first little bit here is kind of get out of your own head. Ace of Swords, Ten of Swords. You just need to get out of that. If you need to take a minute and like go on a little bit of adventure, do it. I'm going to point out the bottom of the deck here for you is Seven of Wands. So it is kind of like protecting your boundaries. And that can apply to yourself. If you are being hard on yourself for whatever reason, stop it, right? Get out of your own head. Stop overthinking things, right? Stop kind of dissociating if you can. I feel like You might need to have some sort of conversation with someone. It could be yourself, and kind of like get yourself in line, if that makes sense. Tame yourself, you know, with the Strength card. Allow yourself a little bit of fun. Allow yourself to let loose a little bit, and like embrace whatever love is in your life, you know? Just like it really does feel like a let loose energy. And this is probably a really good time to look at that a lot harder, you know? Look at your own thought processes. Look at how you look at things. You know, is there something you can do different? Something that isn't going to hurt quite as bad, you know? But it really does feel like kind of get yourself in line. Get your thoughts in order. Try to just not be so hard on yourself as well. Possibly don't be so hard on others either, right? Because the swords are also how we communicate and how we talk to other people. So if you're a Gemini who kind of prides yourself on giving the blunt truth because that's just who you are, you know, I mean, there are times where a little bit of tact is necessary. My Mercury is in Sagittarius, and that can often mean that I speak plainly, I speak straightforward, and there is no sugarcoating things, right? But I don't intend to hurt people when I tell them things. I don't intend to like cut as deep as I can with my words. That is never my intention. It has become a learned skill to kind of approach things a little bit more tactfully and compassionately. So I almost feel like for some of you Geminis out there, you might need to get yourself a filter. You know, you might need to like really look at how you communicate with people. Do you need to like cut it back a little bit? Do you need to find your filter? Do you need to inject a little bit of love into what you're saying rather than just saying it plainly, and if you don't like it, then you can screw off? You know what I mean? Because that's not how you keep people around you. You know, there has to be a little bit of compassion and empathy. Sometimes people do need to hear the truth, but how harsh do you have to make it? You know? And that goes exactly the same for how you speak to yourself. Do you really need to be that hard on yourself if you are? Right? So, for those of you who are overthinking, this is your Moonology card. Nothing is yet set in stone. Right? And I get it. I suffer from this myself. There is nothing easier for me than to overthink. But, I mean, what is that getting me? What is that getting you? You know? If you can't really predict the outcome, what good does it do you to think of the 50 different ways that this could come out? Because, I mean, in my experience, almost every single time, there's that one other option I didn't really consider. And that's what happens. So, I mean, you know, kind of, what's the point? You know what I mean? I have just dropped a bunch of cards on the floor trying to get your spirit animal. So just give me one moment, please. This is a prime example of that chaotic energy. Not gonna lie. Before I start shuffling again, you also did get a second Moonology card. It says you and your loved ones are safe. So again, what is the point in going over and over and over and over in this? You know, like it's not serving you. So it's, to me, it feels like a call to really calm your mind, get out into nature if you can, have a little fun, let loose just a little bit, have some fun. You know, your spirit animal here is sweet results await. So if that's your advice, I really think you need to get yourself a little bit more laid back. Okay? Don't stress over things you can't control, because, I mean, how is that going to actually give you control? It's not. It's not. You can't configure and compute all the many ways that this is going to come out. It's impossible. So give your head a break, Gemini. Just be kind to yourself, to others. Let your mind rest. Get some sleep if you can. Take naps if you can work that into your day, especially if you feel like you need one. Because I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And it's hard to work in naps, but weekends are good for it. So let us move on here. We have Cancer, who is next. How do we help Cancers navigate this chaos energy? Okay, it's a good start. Let's get you a few more cards. I do love this to start. I really, really do. The Magician coming out here first is saying, like, take control of your shit. You have all the aces. You can manifest whatever you need to manifest. So if there is something, and it feels like there is with this Ace of Pentacles, now feels like a good time for you to do it. Okay? There is kind of a call to follow your own intuition. You don't have all the answers. It's impossible to have all of the answers. But your gut kind of knows the direction you need to go. So follow it, right? Eight of Swords, don't hold yourself back in this. There's no point, right? Because again, you're the Magician, okay? You can manifest whatever. And I feel like there is something you're thinking of. Something that you really, really want. Something that's going to kind of make you feel a little elevated, you know? Divine feminine energy, like all of the queens all in one. That's kind of where you're looking here, right? So now is a good time for you to manifest. Now is a good time for you to actually figure out what it is that you want, you know? I mean, I feel like deep down you know, with that High Priestess, I think deep down there is something that you've probably been wanting for a little bit, a little while, you know. Now's a good time. Your message is actually really simple here, Cancer. Now is the time to start. If you want to navigate this chaos, if you feel like you don't know where you're going, well, you know what you want, right? So go there. That's kind of what this is saying to me. Follow your heart, follow your gut. And you're going to go from this to this. And that's a good way to go, you know? You have here, have faith in your dreams. Again, now is a good time to manifest these things. Now is a good time to really put work, put effort into these things that you want, whatever it is. And then you have here also a fiery climax approaches. So, like, again, this is really simple here. It doesn't sound simple, I'm sure. You're probably just sitting there like, how do I manifest this? What do I do? Again, follow your intuition. I'm sure your guides have some sort of advice for you. Yeah, I like this. Your advice here. Coyote Spirit, trust in divine detours, right? They are trying to guide you. So it's kind of a sense of, are you listening? Don't listen to whatever's going in your head. Okay? Whatever you're saying to yourself, like, I don't know if I can do that. That doesn't sound right. This doesn't really sound feasible. That's not realistic. Well, no, your guides are trying to get you there, you know? Trust that. And then you also have Antelope Spirit. Life is speeding up. And for me, like, a coyote is probably very likely to eat an antelope, you know? So I get the feeling that if you trust in these detours, if you trust your intuition and your guides, and you start going in that path, that's when things start speeding up, okay? If, like, part of chaos is feeling a little directionless, and that brings about some fear, because if you don't know where you're going, even if you have options presented to you, there's still that sense of, I don't know what's going to happen, so I don't know where I want to go. I don't know what leads where. Your guides know. They're trying to get you there, okay? So, again, your message has been super simple here, Cancer. I know it does sound difficult to follow, especially with that Eight of Swords there. You're probably all up in your head. There's probably a million excuses coming out of your mouth right now, and you're probably like, well, they're not excuses. Well, aren't they? You know? If you really think about it, aren't they? There's always a reason to not do something. So, kind of like doing these. Big thanks to Vanessa for suggesting this, because this is, yeah, this is where we needed to go here, for sure. All right, we have here Leo next. Leo. How does Leo navigate these chaotic times, this chaotic energy? I like that to start. Teamwork. You have the Magician as well. I do like that. I love that for chaotic energy. Knowing that you can create what you want to create is such awesome energy. This has teamwork energy. It also has family energy. I don't know if you've got someone in your family, someone you consider family, who you're really close to with that Two of Cups. Like, because Two of Cups isn't just about romantic love. I think a lot of people forget that, especially when it comes to tarot. And it's just like, oh yes, true love. Like, you can have some awesome, awesome people in your life that could be considered soulmates, but that doesn't mean they have to be romantic. Like, a friend who's, like, never gonna let you down, that kind of thing. Like, your ride or die, right? Yeah. There's someone or a couple people. There are a lot of people in this reading right here. Just kind of surrounding you. You know, like, this is you, the Magician. Again, just like Cancer. Just like Cancer, you can manifest whatever you want. But I do think in your case, you need a little bit of input from people around you. There is some teamwork here that needs to happen. Again, it could be someone from your family. This could be you wanting to do something with your finances, with the Pentacles here. But yeah, I don't know. There's something you need to focus on here. It could be something creative with that Ace of Wands. Is it a new project? Do you want to start something with someone? Do you need to be like this person in the photo? You need a model for your art? You know what I mean? It just, I feel like you need someone to bounce ideas off of. Okay? That's what's really coming through here. I think if you start bouncing your ideas off friends and family, like people close to you, people you trust, I do feel like you're going to come through with one idea that really sticks out, and that's where you go. That's what you start, that's what you work on, you know? Your Moonology card here is your dreams need a practical plan. That's kind of where you're at. Again, there's that sense of feeling directionless, not really knowing where to go. You need a plan, right? And I feel like the people around you are going to help you form that plan. I don't think they're actually going to give you the plan. I just think that they're someone, again, to bounce ideas off of, have a sounding board, really there's something to be said for talking about someone like you trust implicitly, you know what I mean? To be like your goofiest, most vulnerable self and to say, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but I want to do this. Or this is gonna sound stupid, but I want to write this, I want to draw this, I want to create this, you know? And they're probably just gonna be like, that is so friggin' cool. How? And you're like, I don't know. They start helping you figure it out, right? That's kind of where this is going. It's really just working it out. You know, your advice cards here, your spirit animal, the first one you have is Bobcat Spirit, life is a mystery. And it absolutely is. Right now, you don't know where the heck you're going, and you don't really know where this is going to take you, but Spirit is advising you, Canary Spirit, sing your own song. Do it your way. This idea you have, whatever it is, whatever you want to do, there's a way to put your own spin on it. Be yourself with it. You know what I mean? It could be something as simple as, well, you know, it's just like a recreation of Romeo and Juliet. So are a lot of things, especially in mainstream media right now. There's like a whole crap load of movies, right, that are basically just Romeo and Juliet. Books, like, it's just a basic concept, right? So it's really just a way of saying, put your own spin on it, right? You don't really know where you're at right now, and you don't really know where it's going to take you when you start, but come up with a plan and get moving on it. That's what you really need to do. But in order to, I think, actually flesh this out, you need at least one person that you can talk to. Maybe two. Someone who can bounce ideas off you, like if you have a group chat with a couple friends, whatever, like maybe your cousin's really cool with some stuff, like just start bouncing ideas off of people you trust. Just be like, what if this? Okay, nope, that doesn't work. All right, what if that? You know what I mean? Honestly, that sounds super fun, Leo. I kind of want to do it. It just really, I don't know, getting ideas from people. It really unlocks something you kind of ignore in your own self, you know, hearing someone else say it. But let's move on. We have here Virgo. How do we help Virgo navigate this chaotic energy, these trying times, this crazy time to be alive? I like that to start. King of Cups. Ace of Wands, Eight of Wands. Ooh. What is this, Virgo? How do you navigate this? King of Cups doesn't really feel like your energy. Oh, sorry, I'm just looking here. There actually was like a whole mess of cards that came out, but the Tower separated itself from everything, so that's why I kept it. They do want it. They want one more, though. Okay. First time for everything, Virgo, you get one more card. Judgment. Wow. There is something here. Possibly someone, because like I said, the King of Cups doesn't really feel like your energy. See, this is the fun part about chaos. Sometimes I can look at the cards and, like, I know what they each individually mean, but sometimes there's just that little hitch in connecting everything. I kind of feel like there's a person that you want to be connected with, but you're not right now. And I get the feeling that that's kind of what's making you feel a little off right now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just looking at the way things are set up here. Five of Swords is under the King of Cups. Like, it's arguments and stuff like that. But it's doing what you need to do for you. I'll say that as well. Ace of Wands, and then the Tower underneath it is on fire. It's like, did you set something on fire here? Did you burn a bridge? You know what I mean? If you did, you're still going. And Judgment is like a reawakening, a revelation. I don't know. This one's weird, Virgo. In the sense of, okay, I got your Moonology cards. Bottom of the deck here is you are good enough. So if there is an energy coming in from someone else who something is kind of ended with, forget them, right? At least for the moment. Judgment is one of those cards of rebirth. The Eight of Wands is good news coming in, right? But I'm not going to say that it's going to work out and come back together. You know what I mean? This card being on the bottom of the deck, a full moon in Virgo, you are good enough. This is your reading, Virgo. It really just says, like, you don't really need to worry about this person. You're good enough. Even if they're not in your life anymore, whatever, forget them. If you are good enough, whatever happened, right now, Spirit is saying they're not good enough to be in your life right now. Okay? That's kind of what that feels like. And it almost feels to me like you kind of need to take that realization and run with it. Like, they're just not on your level right now. They didn't rise with you. Their vibe didn't rise with you. They're not for you right now. It's not to say they never will be, but right now. And I feel like that's only going to apply to a small subset of you. The rest of you, it does feel like you need to have a little bit more compassion for yourself. For one thing, it does feel like there's a creative project you kind of need to put a little bit more focus on, something you've maybe let go for a little while, something you kind of left behind. It's still sticking with you, but you haven't really put a lot of energy into it. I think now's the time. And I think if you look at it from a completely different perspective, maybe you didn't quite have the right vision with it the first time. It kind of feels like you can restart this. You can revive it, you know, come back to it and really make good progress with it, which is really good. But what this is going to require is you stepping out of your comfort zone. I know Virgos, like, they like things a certain way. They like things to be done really well, right? There is a sense of perfectionism here. And I know that. I do have Virgo in my chart. I am horrible for it. But letting go of that need for things to be perfect and just realizing that it doesn't have to be perfect yet, it just needs to be done, is going to help that. Like, if you complete the whole thing, you can go back and make minor adjustments. You know what I mean? If you are, like, sculpting something, you need the bare bones, then put in the detail. If you are writing something, you gotta finish the first draft before you can actually start to edit. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be good, it just has to be done. That's kind of what this feels like. So this does feel like some sort of project you need to revisit, and you need to look at it a different way through some eyes of compassion. Okay? Just remember that you don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just gotta get somewhere with it, right? And I think once you realize that, you have here the energy is gaining momentum. That ties in fantastically with that Eight of Wands. Like once you kind of breathe a little bit of life into it, once you look at it a different way and start working on it that different way, that's when things really start to pick up. I like this. You have, for your advice, Badger Spirit, be fearless and bold. Like, don't hold yourself back. Don't be like, but I need this and it needs this. Do it later. You know, take care of it later. Write it down, what you want to fix. Take care of it later. Fix it. Maybe when you come back to it, you realize that doesn't really work. It's not going to work in the grand scheme of things. But we also have here Cow Spirit. The miracles are endless. So I like that one, especially with Judgment, especially when it comes to something that doesn't seem like it's going to work out. Or a person, like for those of you where this was a person that you're kind of stuck on, if it doesn't seem like it's going to work out now, maybe it's not meant to right now, right? But again, we don't know the future. We don't know how these things are going to go. We can't plan for a lot of stuff because, I mean, the best laid plans, right? They never go as you plan. Something always comes up. Always. And I think that's a good reminder as well, especially we're dealing with chaotic energy. Right now, it is very strong, but when things calm back down again, that doesn't mean all that chaos has gone away. There's a little bit of chaos in everything. Even you, Virgo, even me, even everyone. There's just always that sense of unpredictability. And that's what makes life so interesting. We wouldn't want to be entirely without it. We just gotta manage it right now. Okay? We are going to move on here. Let's see. Libra. Let's move on to Libra. As I drop a lot of cards. Fun chaos. I'm only halfway done. I've thrown cards, I don't know how many times. They just ended up on the floor and it's just everywhere. It's literally everywhere. This is interesting here, Libra. You like this. I like this for you, Libra. You, in dealing with your chaos, sorry, I need a drink here for a minute. You need to set some boundaries. This is what's going to help your chaos and dealing with it. There is a sense you do have to keep pushing forward. That's not something you're not used to, though. But I also kind of feel like you need to invest some time into other things, you know? I feel like there's something you kind of feel like you've been neglecting here with this Five of Cups. Something that you really like, or even someone. Like, I just feel like you've been working hard, just work, you know? You've been pushing through, and maybe that's all you can do, you know? Maybe that's all you've had time to do, or it feels like had time to do, but I kind of also think that maybe you need an hour a week, you know, start small kind of thing, to invest in this thing, whatever it is you kind of regret not investing in, you know what I mean? Because this doesn't really happen usually when I draw these cards, like 5 of Cups. There's a 3 there's spilled, but there's a 2 upright, and then there's actually the 2, you know? So it's kind of like, yeah, all this other crap is shit right now. The 3 cups have spilled, but there are still the 2. And you like the 2. You really do. You want to do more with that 2, but you're just too focused on this other stuff. Probably the 9 of Wands stuff that's keeping you busy and probably making you feel a little burnt out. Like, there's just something here. Something that you feel like you're possibly neglecting, and I think you need to start putting time and effort into it. You know, the Moon card here feels like I like this Moon card because it's not just the typical dog and the wolf. This is 2 people in dog and wolf masks, right? They're embracing that inner nature, that tame side, that wild side. They're completely ignoring whatever is here in the water. They're just having fun howling at the moon, you know? Like, so it's kind of like saying, yeah, there's a lot of crap in your emotions. There's a lot of crap that you regret, whatever, but maybe, is it time to just, you know, go have fun? Go let loose with your bestie? You know what I mean? Just something like that. And I like your Moonology cards here because the first one is your hard work is paying off. It does feel like it. At least in the energy I'm picking up, it kind of seems like in your energy, you're not really seeing it pay off yet, but you're getting there. And that's also why I really like this 6 of Pentacles, because it's saying that, hey, you do have something to offer. You do have a little bit to offer, to put into this, you know? You don't have to keep saying or wishing or like, oh, I really want to, but I don't have this, I don't have that. Well, you're starting to get it. You know what I mean? And I think once you embrace that and start investing in that again, you also have here expect powerful change. That's when things start to change, you know? That's when you maybe feel a little less stuck, a little less chaotic. That's maybe when you start to feel a little more balanced, you know? And your spirit animals here, White Raven Spirit, trust in the magic. It is happening. It is coming. I know you've burnt out. You're edging on that 10 of Wands. That really burnt out, I don't want to do this anymore, this is too much kind of feeling. And you also have here Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. So you're getting that time, you're getting that energy, that money, whatever resource it is you need to invest in stuff. You're getting there. And you know what? I feel like in some senses you already are there. It's just a matter of also choosing to invest in it, you know? Because I feel like we're all a little bit guilty of that. Like, maybe you do have the time, but you spend a lot of it on your phone. Maybe you browse Reddit or Facebook or YouTube, whatever. And like, you look at the clock and you're like, oh yeah, 15 more minutes. And you look back at the clock and it's been 3 hours. Like, did you have to spend the 3 hours? Could you have set yourself an alarm to be like, okay, time to go do something else? You know what I mean? But I totally get it. I'm guilty of it as well. It's how I dissociate, you know, to just not really care about the things that are, you know, weighing on me. But it's just one of those things where if you just start to do it, you'll feel a little better, because you've been saying for how long, you know, I really want to do this. You have the time. You just kind of have to make the time. That's the hard part. Especially when you're tired, especially when you're burnt out. I completely understand. Completely. I do like that though for you, Libra, because again, like, the sense that your hard work is paying off, the sense that you are getting a little more for the work that you put in, you're going to have enough to share. That's a good energy. That's a good feeling. So I do like that for you, Libra. It's, yeah. Let's move on. Scorpio, you are up next. What do we have for Scorpio in navigating this chaotic energy? Five of Swords. Six of Pentacles. These are coming up pretty easy. Ooh, wow. Holy wow. This is friggin' awesome, Scorpio. I have to point out the bottom of your deck here, the Lover's card. It does feel super relevant to everything else. And then the Chariot underneath that. It's kind of, there's momentum growing in a partnership, whether it be romantic or not. I do like that. This is kind of something it feels like you've been putting a lot of energy into, whether you've actually been communicating this or not. It's something that's been on your mind. It's something that you've been trying to get better with, I want to say. And in this deck, looking at that Five of Swords, it looks like you've collected your reward, almost, is what's coming through. I know that's not the meaning of the Five of Swords, but intuitively that's what's coming through. You are starting to collect yourself and your thoughts. You're getting prepared, you know what I mean? And I kind of like this because, again, just like with Libra, there's the Six of Pentacles right here, and it's you're getting the resources to start balancing the scales a little bit, to start putting some more something into something, you know? It's going to resonate differently for everyone. But yeah, like, and with the Lovers being at the bottom of the deck here, it's definitely making things even, you know, or maybe even like balancing what has already been put in. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, you're coming in here as the King of Pentacles, the provider, the protector, that calm, grounded energy. Possibly a little stubborn. It is kind of Taurus energy there as well. But yeah, I just really like this because then you also have this Wheel of Fortune, and like it's your fortunes are turning. And I think you've been feeling this for a while. And I'm just going to say it like this. I feel like with the chaotic energy here, the fact that you've been feeling it, it's just driving you nuts because you don't know when it's going to settle. You don't know when like the moment is going to hit, you know? So it's kind of like embrace the wheel turning, invest in the people around you, you know? Don't feel like you have to prove anything to anyone because you really don't. You really don't. I just dropped that card on the floor. Seriously, it's been happening this whole time. This is the second or third time I've dropped cards. 1 second. Sorry about that. Where was I? Yeah, it's like, again, you've been feeling this coming for a long time. You're kind of waiting for it to settle. It's not quite there yet, but I feel like it's more embrace the adventure that it's letting you go on right now. It is going to settle. The tough times are going to get better. You know that instinctively. You're kind of already stepping into that energy. Okay? It's good. It's nice. It's, you know, again, investing in those around you, being that person who people can go to for advice or whatever. Like, that's good. I feel like that's going to make you feel more grounded here, Scorpio. Knowing that you're kind of the protector and the provider here, I think is how that wanted to come out. And your moonology here is step out of your comfort zone. I do think this energy is dragging you out of your comfort zone. I don't think Scorpios are used to being in like a King of Pentacles provider protector energy. You know what I mean? But I do feel like once you get into it, you're going to start embracing it. It's just one of those things like share the wealth, you know, especially with that Wheel of Fortune, especially with that. And then you also have here, you're very close to achieving your goal. So whatever that is, for those of you, it could be bettering your finances, right? Your goal could be becoming that King of Pentacles energy, having your shit together, you know, having enough to give to people you care about. Like, yeah, I do like that. There is just that sense of needing to, for some of you, get out of your own head and feeling like you have to prove something, because you don't. You really don't. The only thing you have to prove to anyone is to yourself, and it's whatever you choose, really. Like, that's the cool thing. Like, you don't owe anyone anything. Your advice here is Flamingo Spirit, embrace the in-between. Again, that feels like it's tying into this Wheel of Fortune, where things have maybe been a little bit crap lately. You can sense and you kind of know that the wheel is turning. Things are getting a little bit better, but you're kind of in this chaotic energy. It feels as though you're a little impatient to get to the good stuff, you know, like the good area. Don't rush it, you know. Don't try to force it. That'll just make it harder to get to, for one thing. Just be happy with where you are for the moment and where you're going, because again, you know where you're going, you can feel it coming. Just kind of, the Spirit wants to say, show gratitude for where you are right now, you know, because it's not bad, or at least it's not as bad as it was. Not to say that it's super great, but show some gratitude to Spirit for putting you on this path to get to the better, you know. Okay, next up we have Sagittarius. So, 3/4 of the way done. How does Sagittarius navigate this energy? Wow. Right off the bat. Oh, I like this. I'm going to point out the bottom of the deck for you too, Sagittarius, 4 of Swords. There's rest and healing needed here. I think you're currently in that energy. What Spirit is saying here with this 8 of Swords, for one thing, is don't use that as an excuse to hold yourself back. Excuse me, I need a drink of water here real quick. It's like, because you're kind of in your head right now. You're kind of holding yourself back in something. You're tempering something. But what this needs in this energy is decisive action. 7 of Cups, I feel like right now, I don't necessarily want to say you're overwhelmed with possibility, like a bunch of different choices. I feel more that you're overwhelmed with, but what if this happens? Or what if this happens? And what if this happens? You know what I mean? You're kind of sticking yourself into that what if energy, and that is also holding you back. I think with the Queen of Swords, you need to really, again, quick, decisive action. You need to cut that down. You need to just embrace that, again, there is something unknown here. But it doesn't feel bad, because what is here is Ace of Wands and Seven of Pentacles. Okay? So whatever you're holding yourself back from is this really wonderful, beautiful, vibrant, passionate new beginning. Something that you could be putting energy into and watching it grow into something beautiful and fantastic. But instead, where you currently are, in the midst of all your healing, so I'm not saying don't rush this either. I'm just saying don't let yourself miss out on a good thing due to all of these what if questions that are currently up in your head, right? That's actually super straightforward here, Sagittarius. And I think you will appreciate that being straightforward. Like, I feel like there's a lot of worry in whatever is going on right now. I do feel like it's very new. Yeah, I'm getting your Moonology in the bottom of the deck here as emotions are running high. And that could be where, like, the worry and the what ifs are coming from. Like, you're confronting emotions you haven't really had before. What this is saying here is to step out of your comfort zone. And this is a theme. A lot of people have been getting this card lately. Stepping out of your comfort zone, embracing what is instead of the what if, you know, and putting some energy into it, because I do feel like there is excitement here. There is kind of a future here. But again, it's getting lost in that worry. What if, holding yourself back. Okay, when you could be investing more into this. Your other card that came out here is a new start is coming. So it's right here, you know, but you're holding yourself back from that, and you shouldn't be. Again, the bottom of your deck was the Four of Swords. So that's not to say go at a pace you're not comfortable with. This is merely saying don't hold yourself back from doing anything at all, you know, because the Queen of Swords to me is also the Queen of Boundaries. She is one of those queens that takes no shit. There is no bullshit here, you know, and I know that's what you're kind of looking for. That's kind of where you're at, like that you don't want any bullshit. There's no games in whatever this is. But again, with this energy, this Eight of Swords, Seven of Cups, you're kind of playing yourself. You're lost in what if energy. And you need to free yourself from that. It's more like, be honest, set your boundaries. Don't set them too high. You know, you gotta have room to breathe. But invest in this is what it really feels like. Because this is something new and wonderful and fun. Like, it's coming. It's probably even here. But this is something you can invest in for a long time and watch it grow and become something beautiful. And your spirit animal here is Porcupine Spirit. Time for a beginner mind. I feel like the reason that you're worrying so much here is because a lot of this is new to you. Again, step out of your comfort zone. It is okay to learn as you go. It is okay to be a beginner at something, because that's how you learn and that's how you get better. But you actually have to do it in order to get better. You know, I actually really like this for you, Sagittarius. I know, like, it's scary to let yourself break free and not worry too much about the outcome and all that stuff, but, like, there is something fucking wonderful for you, like, right here. And I really do think you see it, but there's just other fears in there. So, like, there's something really great within your grasp. You just gotta let yourself reach out and grab it. You know? Okay. Let us move on to Capricorn. All right. Hello, Capricorns. Let's see. How do we help you navigate this chaotic energy? Again, it's just all coming right out. Okay, interesting. I've been pulling 5 cards for most everyone. I think Virgo has been the exception. Now you are also part of the exception, Capricorn. There are 3 extra cards for you here. King of Wands, the Hierophant, and Queen of Wands. Divine counterpart, it feels like. This is an interesting reading. I kind of like it though. What's the bottom of your deck? 7 of Cups. Yeah. Okay. Not relevant to this. Navigating this chaos for you is putting energy where you need to put your energy. Cutting off the things or the people that you need to cut off. Okay? I'm just going to say that right out. With that 10 of Swords, that is an ending. Possibly something you've been trying to not really look at. And I'm saying that because this person's like on their phone. There's 10 swords sticking out of them. They're just on their phone. Like, there is like a commitment here. There is someone here. Your King of Wands, Queen of Wands, divine counterparts. Right? But there's something else up here that you gotta let go of. Right? You just gotta let go. So, and this reading to me says, with that 7 of Pentacles and 6 of Pentacles, there is something you need to tend to. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be this or whatever. It could be hobbies or work, whatever. Maybe your finances need to look at. I don't know. Again, this resonates differently for everyone, but 7 of Pentacles is putting time and energy into something to watch it grow. It does take patience, but it is there. 6 of Pentacles is, again, balancing that scale. Have you been putting your energy somewhere you shouldn't be? Have you been putting your energy to somewhere that doesn't need as much as you're giving it? You know? Maybe something is over and you're still kind of looking at it, you know? Maybe you should be looking at something else. It's perfectly fine to still want to put something, like energy into something. I know it's hard to let stuff go, but you also need to kind of draw a limit for yourself, right? Because you have this. Like, this is, I mean, Hierophant between King and Queen of Wands, that is a commitment. That is something strong and lasting, you know? So, and the King of Cups can just be put more love into this, you know? Or the King of Cups can be a person. Again, it's going to resonate differently, but there is something that has ended. You need to let it go. For those of you where that's not resonating, this literally could just be a buttload of anxiety. I'm not gonna lie. And it could be saying you need to kind of do something about that, you know? If it is depression, if it is anxiety, is there something that you can do to help yourself with it? Emotions are running high is your card. Bottom of the deck is a personal issue reaches resolution. Okay, so that could be like healing something, letting go of something, but with this 10 of Swords, I don't feel like that's something you should really be focusing on as much as you are. That's just how that message is coming out. I feel like there are other things, better things, where you can be investing your time and money. And it's like right here. It could even be a hobby or something, you know? Like just something you like to do in your spare time. but there is something that's not really giving back what you're putting into it, and you need to kind of deal with that, you know. Your advice here is, hummingbird spirit, be here now. You know, focus on the moment. Focus on your person, I think, as well. Like, don't get stuck in your head, what ifs and everything. Be present, you know. And you also have scarab beetle and spider spirits. Magic works through you and make your dreams real. So again, there are things that you can put energy into. There are things that you can work on. You can create beautiful things. You can achieve your dreams. You just have to put energy into them, you know. And I get it. It does feel kind of difficult, especially with that Ten of Swords. That feels like it's taking up all of your focus, but there are other wonderful things around you, you know. So I think you got to inject a little bit of love into those things. Possibly focus on this relationship as well. Like, this is, it's so strong. It really is. Like, divine counterparts with a frickin' Hierophant in the middle of them. I mean, come on, Capricorn. That's gorgeous energy. Gorgeous energy. So, I kind of really like this, honestly. Just, it's kind of just simple enough to say, stop focusing on the crap, you know? Like, it's not serving you anything, so what's the point in really putting more energy into it? There isn't. There really isn't. You've got these cool things, and you've got these dreams, and I mean, they're there. They're right in front of you. So whatever, like, this is, just screw it, you know? You've got pentacles, you've got love, you've got commitment. It's awesome. And I mean, it's wands, so it's like fun and it's passionate and it's creative. You have that. You have that. And yet there's that Ten of Swords. Throw it out. Put it in the trash. Put it in the trash, Capricorn. Throw out that Ten of Swords. It is not serving you at all. Okay, let us move on here. We have Aquarius. Let's do this. Aquarius. How does Aquarius navigate this chaotic energy? This wicked, chaotic stuff. Holy crap. Holy crap. That's like most of the deck. Two of Swords, I'm just looking at, there could be a decision you have to make, but it's mostly coming through as intuition, you know, possibly taking a moment to confront emotions. Excuse me. Maybe heal something even. I like it because Temperance is peace. Ten of Cups is happiness, you know. Knight of Cups is offering love. Knight of Swords is going towards it. So if there is a decision that you have to make, I think you can. Knight of Swords is decisive action, you know. Knight of Swords is having a goal, making a plan, and acting on it. So if there's maybe been something you've been avoiding here, Aquarius, now might be the time to do it. Like, there's gonna be happiness here. You can offer happiness, you can offer love. Maybe this is someone that you want to move towards. Maybe now is your time, you know. But it's like right here, you know, right here. I do like it. It's mostly just saying on, like, to me, I'm feeling just focus on peace and happiness. Focus on those things that make you happy, the things that bring you joy, you know, the things that kind of heal your soul. Focus on that. But again, that Two of Swords, this decision, you're gonna have to make it. I think making that decision is kind of what is the catalyst. It's what starts moving you forward with that Knight of Swords. Because the Knight of Swords goes. It just goes. They have a goal and they move towards it. So I like once you figure it out, that's when you start to move. But I'm thinking there must be some fear here. You do have a Moonology, step out of your comfort zone. So, I mean, if that's what you have to do, now's a good time, you know? You also have two other cards here. You have a new start is coming, but again, it can't come unless you make that decision. And your other card here is full moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you, Aquarius. Show them you. So whatever fear is in there under that Two of Swords energy, the kind of the putting off that decision, just which choice is going to represent you, you know? Which choice is going to really make your essence shine? I just heard. Like, which one is going to make you ultimately happy? That's what you need. Here we go. So you have two spirit animals here. The first one is take time out. I think this is kind of where you already are. I think you are right here in this Two of Swords, blindfold on, just kind of putting this off, but also looking into it. You know what I mean? Being introspective, trying to follow that intuition, trying to know where to go. Some advice here is time to collaborate. Is there someone you can go to? Is there someone you can ask, you know, to really help you make this decision, to help you figure out where to go, to figure out which one of these choices is going to put you on the path that you want to be on, you know? So I like it though. It's like you're kind of on the precipice of something really cool. Finding balance in your life, you know, finding peace and happiness, going towards what you love. That's just what it feels like. You just have to make the choice. Like if it's more than one thing, even if it's just as simple as time to go, you know, trying to decide when to start, you're right there. And that's always really nice to know, that you're just that much closer to something new and awesome. Okay. Pisces, you are next. Last, but certainly never least. Never. Pisces. How do we help Pisces navigate this chaotic energy? Woo! I dropped most of the deck again. I like that. The Chariot. To start. Five of Wands. Knight of Cups. You got three here. And I love every single one of them. I really do. Hierophant, Six of Wands, Ten of Cups. I really, really love it. Bottom of the deck too, I have to point this out. Knight of Swords, Nine of Cups. It like moving towards your happiness, your hopes and dreams, your wishes. It's friggin' awesome. Pisces, you gotta make some kind of move, is what I'm seeing here. it could be a legit move, like moving somewhere with the Chariot card. But mostly it feels like you have to take some kind of action. It could be as simple as offering love and offering commitment, but it requires absolute confidence, right? Just kind of this knowing that you are the best person for this situation, whatever this is. And it's definitely like you have to choose like which direction you go, and then you're kind of committed to it. And I don't mean to say that to like scare you. What I mean to say is, you know where you want to go, you know where you want to end up, so choose that, and that's where you're going to go. You know what I mean? Because again, there is this, you are the best person for this. You got 5 of Wands, you got 6 of Wands underneath it. 6 of Wands is success. It is courage, it is confidence. Okay? So you know you are the best person for this. You are there, like there is this journey, there is this choice. You pick it, you go, you know, you've won. And then here at the end is happiness, right? It's good news, that Knight of Cups. It's a good message. It could be love. It doesn't have to be. For some of you, this could be an acceptance letter of some sort. I just heard. Like, you stand out here. You are a cut above the rest. You have won, whatever this is. And it's kind of embracing that energy, knowing that this is where you're heading, and it ultimately ends in happiness. Okay? So it's embrace what's coming. Embrace yourself, right? Inject that self-love, that self-care, whatever it is, and just like strut your stuff, basically. Here we go. I like this. Bottom of the deck, you're very close to achieving your goal. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, Pisces. Heck yeah. We also have here, don't let pride get in your way. So, but it feels less like pride and more like ego, so to speak. Like, check your motivations for one thing. But don't also get in your own way. Like, if you need to ask for help, don't be too proud. Don't be too proud. And like, offer help where you need to as well, because this isn't just about you. What comes from happiness in this Ten of Cups is like you and your family, your friends, the people around you are also happy. Okay? So kind of like check the motivation a little bit there too. But ultimately expect powerful change, right? Like, stepping into your power brings about change. It always does, and it always will. I like this. Bottom of the deck, you have Otter Spirit. You are never alone. Love it. Love it. 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups. And you have here, first card here is Eagle Spirit. Spirit has your back. So again, even if it's just asking for help from Spirit, do it. Don't let pride get in your way. Don't let yourself hold yourself back. You know, you've got this, whatever this is. What you need here right now is to lay a solid foundation. So I think, like, when it comes to choosing this Chariot, wherever you're going, wherever you want to go, is this a solid plan? Is it going to last? Is this what you really want? Kind of thing. But Hummingbird Spirit, be here now. So don't get lost in the future and the what ifs and everything, because ultimately the happiness is right here. Okay? It's not just, I want to be happy in the future. What are you happy with right now? Okay? I just really like this though, Pisces. I really do. I just keep looking at that Six of Wands and like strut your stuff. It's just, it keeps going on repeat. Like, you've got whatever this is, right? You are standing out, you are shining bright, and there is happiness here. Okay, so take care of yourselves, Pisces. Have a great time. Love you.